Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my most humble pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. So this story begins sometime in the year 2003 or 2004. I was a student at Sri Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, and I was in the Prashantinilayam campus. Then I had joined for my masters. By then I had developed what I call as the two Swami theory. So the two Swami theory is that there are two Swamis. One Swami who resides in the mandir either at Prashantinilayam or Vrindavan or Kodaikanal, depending on where he is, and he goes and gives darshan, attends bhajans, calls for interview, he does all this. The other Swami is my own personal Swami who is in my heart, and he has come only for me. The sole purpose of the second Swami's avatarhood is to take care of Arvind, and like that each of you have your own Swami. And that is the Swami that I would like to connect with and bond with, because he responds to me every time. The other Swami who would be living in the mandir, whom I would see every day definitely, because there is daily darshan, daily bhajan, but there is no guarantee that he'll talk to me or he will respond to me or he will take my letter or even he'll look at me. And very soon you notice that when you are there staying every day, your expectations grow. For instance, when I joined as a student, I was very thrilled because I thought, what else do I need in life? Daily in my life I am going to be seeing God twice a day, or even if not twice a day, daily I will be seeing God. Nothing else I need in life, or so I thought. Within a week or two, you get into your own kind of cycle of life there, circle of life there. You get into fighting for sitting in the first lines. You feel that the third line is more blessed than the fifth line. So no longer was I happy with me having Swami's darshan daily. I wanted to sit in the first line, so that I can touch the hem of his robe, or when he walks by, his robe passes over my hand or something, and basically you want to get closer, nearer. So that became the next aspiration, to fight and struggle, run in the road, reach somehow by hook or crook or whatever, reach front, sit in the front, so that you get Swami's nearness. And then you succeed in doing that, you are still not happy, because you are now definitely having Swami's darshan, but Swami is not having your darshan. He is not looking at you. So it doesn't matter. Then you sit there right under his nose, he walks past, looks at somebody who is sitting in the 10th line behind you, and you start envying the person who is sitting in the 10th line. Feel, arey yaar, what is the use, I am here. So it starts off with you wanting to have darshan, then you wanting to have close darshan, then you wanting Swami to have your darshan, and then if every day he looks at you also, then that becomes like the new normal. Okay, Swami looks at me, so what's there? He should speak to me, then possibly he should give me interview, possibly create and give a ring or a chain, vibhuti. And we have our own gradations. Vibhuti means okay, little nice. Ring and chain means next level. Because we judge it based on us. Like vibhuti, you can buy it for 2 rupees per packet or 3 rupees per packet. Gold ring is... In fact, I remember I had once prayed to Swami, Swami, you must definitely give me a ring. Even if it's not a gold ring, a copper ring also will do. It's okay. Like, we project our own limitations onto Swami. Because for me, copper is not such a big deal as much as gold. I think that is the same with Swami also. So, Swami, if you don't want to give me a gold ring, at least give me a copper ring, Swami. So this is what happens. I remember reading, one Indian author had written that a buffalo was asked, describe God. And the buffalo describes that God is a magnificently large buffalo with the longest horns and the longest tail and the most loud bellow in the universe. The whole universe reverberates. So that's what it is. So that definition of God is restricted by the buffalo's vision. The buffalo thinks of God as a huge divine buffalo. So too, that's why when we make our God, we put Shiva here behind. As a very muscular person, we put 4 hands, because I have got 2 hands, right? So God is grander than me, so I put 4 hands for him, and I make him more powerful than me. So we just make a God an extension of ourselves. And this is what even a great Telugu poet would say, Telugu sage, Annamacharya, Yanta matramuna evara talachina anta matrame neevu. Oh Lord, you are only that much as we think of you, you are. Because you are everything. So if I think of you as something, you be that much. If I think of you as the supreme ultimate, you become that. So what I try to tell with all this is, after joining the college, when I thought that this would be utopia for me, nothing else will be needed, because I am daily saying, Swami, what else do you need? It was not utopia, because one after another, even when it comes to Swami's physical frame, it is a worldly desire, it is not the inner connect and that oneness with Swami, and therefore it is subject to the same laws as it happens with worldly desires. When we start out earning, we think that, let me just make $1 million and that's it. I am just going to retire and only seva all my life. But I never retire. I'll never, because you get a first million, then you think maybe 10 million you need. You get 10 million, you think maybe 100 million you need. There's no end only. In fact, another Sanskrit scholar writes that one who has 100 envies the one who has 1000. One who has 1000 envies the one who has 1,00,000. Then he envies the position of Indra, who is the Lord of Devas. Then Indra is sitting and envying the position of Brahma. Brahma is envying the position of Vishnu. Vishnu is envying somebody else. There is no end only. There is no end to that. So that also happens if we turn God also into another commodity that we can quantify, and you got 5 interviews, I got 10 interviews. 35 years I have been coming to Swami. How does it matter? How does it matter? There are people who in one moment get salvation just looking at him, and I sit here talk about my 40 years, 50 years, In worldly terms, if we start measuring how many years we are with Swami, or what interviews we got, all that doesn't count at all, because what matters is how we feel about Swami. When I just listen to the term Swami, do tears well up in my eyes? Does my heart feel full? Do I feel great joy in my being? Do I feel oozing enthusiasm? Otherwise it doesn't matter at all. It's not something to be counted. So I wasn't satisfied, and that is why I came up with this 2 Swami theory, because my Swami would always be with me in my heart. So as I go to bed, I would tell Swami, come lie down next to me, come let's sleep. Yeah, Swami, hold my hand, it feels nice to hold your hand. And I would, in fact, while holding hands, right, I would think this is my hand and I would clasp my own left hand, imagining it to be Swami's hand. And believe me or not, the exercise was imagination, but the feeling was so real. It would feel, Swami is holding my hand, yes. Then Swami, this is the way I would, and it began to work magically. Like I'll tell Swami, I have one letter to give you, Swami. And Swami will tell, yeah, give me. I'll tell, but Swami, can you take it from me in the mandir tomorrow? Why? You give it to me here. No, Swami, somehow, because of my own limitations, I feel very nice when you take it in the mandir. So you please tell your counterpart there to, take this letter from me. And he tells. Next day when I'm sitting there, he comes, as he's walking by, he takes my letter. I'm like, God, awesome. Now my Swami works. So I go back and tell, Swami, you're superb, Swami. The whole world thinks that Swami is amazing, but you are the amazing guy. Because even that Swami in Prashant Nilayam listens to you. And I'm so happy with you, Swami, because you have come only for me. Whole day you're with me. When I'm having breakfast, you're waiting upon me to see if I'll talk to you. When I'm going to bed, you're waiting and seeing whether I'll call you, whether I'll tell you good night, whether I'll tell you Sai Ram. So I forget you, Swami, but you're always so loyal with me only, I used to feel like this about Swami, and it was wonderful. That phase was very beautiful. I say phase because that phase came to an end, sadly. It just happened in a manner where once I was praying to Swami to take a letter, which was something very critical. You see, at that point in time, it was critical. It was matter of like life or death for me. But now I am not even able to remember what that issue was about. Many times in our lives, our issues are like that only. They seem critical, very important at that point in time. They mean nothing at all. Maybe now you are studying in grade, what grade? 10. Grade 10, yeah. Grade 10 is critical, right? The most important. That's everything. Everybody will tell you your life depends on this. This is the point in time where you make your choice. Like in the Matrix movie, the red pill or the green pill, and this is it. You know what? In 11th grade, it will not matter at all what your 10th grade marks were. It will not matter at all. Because 12th is the most important. And then once you finish 12th, it's only till you get your footstep into the university. After that, your whole school career is nonsense. People introduce me. I was the top ranker from 5th grade onwards. But never in my introduction anybody tells, and Arvind has been a topper from 5th grade, 6th, nothing. They just tell he's a master's in science and go ahead. What about all my achievement till then? And you know what? Now this is because I'm still nearing 40. Suppose when I reach 50, now when somebody is being introduced, say Mahendra uncle is being introduced, they won't tell, Mr. Mahendra, he did BSc and nothing. Because something else comes. So what feels most important at one particular point in time in life is nonsense, doesn't matter at all. But we feel it is so critical. So yeah, at that point in time there was one critical issue about which I had written a letter to Swami. As I said, I don't remember what that critical issue is. And so this was the fruit of, I felt, of my effort, wherein I am trying to imagine my Swami, he is talking to me, everything beautiful. But at that point in time when it was critical and I had told Swami, please, Swami did not take my letter that day. I said, what happened? So night I went back and I took my Swami to task. So at night I went and told Swami, why Swami, you didn't take my letter today? It's for your good only. I don't know, Swami, I don't think that it's for my good and all. I think you are not connected. This Swami, that Swami is possibly not connected, I think. So, I began to feel, am I imagining, am I hallucinating? Like my Swami and that Swami. This is only my imagination. I am holding, come on, whom am I kidding? I am holding my own hand here. Like, I am not holding Swami's hand. So that when the doubt comes in, the whole experience starts to collapse. Till now I was enjoying it. Even before I used to hold my own hand. But I used to feel the joy as if I am holding Swami's hand. In fact, many times in my sleep, before I go to, when I am lying down before I go to sleep, I am holding this, I do this because I feel I am kissing Swami's hand. So though it's my own hand and it's my own imagination, the joy I feel in my heart, I can't deny it. It's genuine joy, true joy. I am truly feeling. But that joy is gone now. Because I am feeling, no, it's not Swami, it's my own hand. I am hallucinating. See, this is the power of faith. This is the destructive power of doubt. Doubt can, even though it's imagination, doubt can take away your joy. And even though it's imagination, faith can give you so much joy. I lost my beautiful night experiences. I lost my beautiful private moments with Swami because this doubt came that, hey, you know what, my Swami in the heart is different. My Swami in the heart is a figment of my imagination. And that Swami is not caring about taking my letter. He doesn't talk to me, nothing he does. Because yeah, really, when people would come and say, you student, so lucky, full year you are with Swami only, we come only for 10 days, only one interview we got. I'm like, you got one interview? I have been warming the floor here for 3 years, he has not spoken to me even once till now. And you come and tell we are lucky, it's like rubbing salt on my wound, don't tell me. Because it's not about the physical thing. And as I said, so I felt this kind of disconnect. So what I would do is I would try to participate in anything in which Swami shows interest, with the hope that I will, catch his eye, catch his attention, and Swami will speak to me. So if Swami is interested in singing, I'll try to sing. Swami is interested in Veda chanting, I'll try to learn Veda chanting. Dramatics, I'll try to participate, speak, go and try to give a speech. Anything that can catch his attention. And now when I think of it, the avatar used this technique very nicely to ensure that people do what, basically Swami never told do this, do that. When somebody does something that he wants, he'll come very nice, very happy. And you get so addicted, hey, I want this appreciation. I want Swami to look at me. I want Swami to talk to me. And that's why we would jump into doing whatever, whether it's bhajan or learning Vedam. People who struggle to speak Sanskrit or speak in Indian language will sit and learn Rudram. Why are you all learning Rudram? Because hey, that will make Swami happy. The sole goal is to make Swami happy because we feel when Swami is happy, we will be happy. I don't know how it is, but intuitively we know that, and that is the truth. So that is why we would do. So I used to see that Swami is asking, Swami used to ask like this, he'll come and tell, anybody is ready to give us talk? Anybody is ready? He'll just generally ask. So when Swami asked like this, I decided, okay, this is a nice opportunity to get close to Swami. So I'll prepare a talk. I used to have a talk prepared and ready. So Swami will come and ask, anybody is there to talk? Then I'll raise my hand. So on one occasion, Swami, okay, come and talk, give a speech. So I gave a speech. So before the speech, you go and offer salutations to Swami, you take a namaskar. After the speech, again another time you get to take namaskar. Very happy with that. I thought this is nice. So once that day got over, I went back to preparing the next speech, because again whenever Swami asks next, I will be ready. Second opportunity I got, very nice. Again on one occasion Swami just asked, is there anybody to speak? So nobody, everybody feels a little nervous, I think. I used to not feel because I am already prepared with my speech. In fact, when I would prepare the speech, they'll tell to go, so you go and take namaskar from Swami, you offer a rose to him. I used to tell Swami, please speak through me, you speak through me. Just as lip service I used to tell that, because Swami, I'm ready with my speech anyway, but you'll feel nice if I tell you like this, so it's okay. This is the ego, this is how you feel that, Swami, I'll make you happy. There is some kind of sweetness in that also, because you want Swami to feel happy, but there is ego. You just think that anyway, why I can do my speech on my own, Swami. This is just like the tradition, so I'm offering it. So many times our spiritual things also become ritual things, because we don't do it with the genuine spirit. So even this thing of telling Swami that you speak through me, make me an instrument of your peace, all that was just a ritual it had become, because I was thinking anyway I'm ready with my speech. So this third occasion, as I said, when I had raised my hand, Swami had asked the warden, is there anybody to speak? So the warden was looking around and I raised my hand. So he told, you come front. So I went from behind, I went right to the front on the dais, and I was sitting there. And then the warden said, Swami, there is one boy ready to speak, Arvind. Then Swami saw like this only. He was sitting on the chair, so he just saw. Then he called the warden and said, you don't have anybody else over? Same guy keeps coming and talking every time. Something like that. I don't know what exactly Swami spoke, but this is how I perceived it. Like, same fellow keeps talking, nobody else is there over. And Swami also made a face that was not very pleasant. Like, 400 fellows are in the hostel, nobody is same. Something like that. I felt a little bit hurt. I said, Swami, first of all, I'm coming and talking. Okay. You don't want. Then after some time, warden looked at me and said, yeah, no, come take. Vedam will get over. When they tell Om Shanti, come take namaskar, go and give a talk. So I went to Swami and I said, Swami, if Swami wants only, I will speak. Otherwise, I will. Swami said, yeah, go speak, go and speak. He told like that. I felt very demoralized. I was like, Swami, I am preparing so much to make you happy, and you are just. I stood at the lectern there, the mic in front of me, and so challenging, because now I am supposed to tell the Supreme Lord, the compassionate Bhagwan, but in my heart I am not feeling that. I am feeling how cruel he is, how you are not even appreciating the efforts that I am putting for your sake. But then I said, okay, Swami, you may not stand by me, but I'll stand by you. I'll still speak of your glory, because I'm large-hearted, And I spoke. There was some applause in the audience, and I felt very happy. I said, okay, see, Swami, I've done it for you. And when I went, Swami is already turning around and talking. He's not even looking at me to bless me. I'm like, Swami, at least bless me. Bless me, Swami. I've done something for you. And then I kept waiting there. So Swami looked, I said, Swami, namaskar. Take and go. And take and go. What are you delaying so much? I was very upset. I went and sat and I said, Swami, you don't seem to appreciate what I'm doing for you. Do you realize, Swami, that if I don't raise my hand and speak, there'll be nobody to speak when you ask. And you'll cut a sorry figure in front of the whole Kulwant hall. Okay, Swami? This is what I'm just openly sharing, what all faults come, how egoistic, how things go, how the mind works. I am telling Swami this. Swami, there will be nobody to, do this, and you don't want. Okay, Swami, the next time you ask, is there anybody to speak? I won't raise my hand, Swami. Don't worry, I would have prepared. So when you realize your mistake, when you realize how wrong you have been, you pick me, I'll speak. And I'll take care of, I'll ensure that, I do justice to it. I would have prepared, but I'm not going to raise my hand, Swami, because it looks like you take me for granted. So, yeah, this is what it is. So when you lose the inner connect with Swami, the outside connect also seems to become so terrible. Yeah. I had stopped already. I was already suffering because I had stopped all my imagination. I had stopped thinking that Swami is waiting for me, sitting by my side, having breakfast with me. All those beautiful days were all gone. These are all the stages of divine romance. Yeah. So, surely I got my chance. A few weeks later, Swami once again asked, is there anybody to speak? And this time I didn't raise my hands. I just sat like that. And I looked around. Nobody is raising hand. Swami, now what you will do? Nobody to speak. Now understand my value, understand my worth. You thought that nobody else is there or what? You asked warden, no Swami, is there nobody else to speak? The truth is, Swami, there is nobody to speak. Then Swami looked around. He also saw there was nobody to speak. He just picked one boy. Boy, get up, come, speak. Who is that fellow? And then I saw that guy. That guy had never spoken. I was like, Swami, bad choice. Bad choice. This guy is going to let you down big time. Okay. And Swami called him to take namaskar. Swami is calling, giving him namaskar. You know? And then I thought, I know what's going to happen now. I know what's going to happen. Swami is going to do divine cheating. Swami will speak through this guy now. Okay. And make him give a nice speech. Just to put me down. This is what Swami is going to do. Just to show that, see, this guy spoke very well. But that is cheating, Swami, because I have put effort and prepared my speech. This guy is not, he doesn't know how to speak also. You are going to speak through him. Again, you know, if I think that I am speaking well, who is the one who gave the ability? Without him, the heart can't beat, can't take a breath. It's foolish to think that I am the one having ability. But on that day, it didn't happen that manner. Swami didn't speak through him. He gave a terrible speech. In the sense, when I say Swami didn't speak through him means, as my understanding that day was that, you know, Swami will make it a lovely speech. It was a very, very bad speech from a worldly standpoint. It was barely any subject was there, something, and 4 minutes later when he concluded, the applause he got was more of a charity. From like, okay, yeah, something like that. It was not an appreciating applause. And I thought, see Swami, this is what happens, Swami, this is what happens. You are asking, no, nobody, and I am putting effort and you are not appreciating me, Swami. This is the substandard talks you will get then. But at that moment, Swami claps. And as Swami claps, the whole hall bursts into applause now. Because as a devotee, I don't care whether the speech is good or not. Swami is happy, that's all I am happy. And everybody burst out in applause. This applause was louder than the applause I had got for my good speech. And Swami had not done any cheating. Only thing is Swami was happy, that's it. And then Swami picked another guy, one singer, told you come and speak. It's a repeat of the same thing. Then a third, then a fourth. 3, 4 or 5, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them spoke that day. Same way. None of them, in my opinion, of good quality. And Swami doesn't do any miracle in making them give an amazing speech. But in the end, Swami applauds and the whole hall applauds. And it's amazing. And I am like, Swami, see, this is the thing. In retrospect, I learnt all of this. But back then, I was feeling very bad. I was like, Swami, such substandard speech. And you're applauding. How well I spoke, Swami. Not this, 1/10 of this you didn't appreciate me, Swami. Why this discrimination? Why somebody else doing is so great and I am putting so much effort, it means nothing to you. They are not putting even little effort, Swami. What they are doing is useless, nothing. I am doing so fantastic and you are not appreciating me. We don't understand who is doing what. Sometime when Swami is doing it, it's because of what you had done the previous year. Maybe the previous decade, maybe your previous lifetime. We don't know when, what is Swami's timeline. Only thing is, because we know he is God, we have to live with faith that what's happening is best. What I am getting because it's best for me. What others are getting, they are getting because it's best for them. Nobody is higher, nobody is lower. We are all pilgrims on the same path to him. That's all. But all this wisdom comes much later, and hopefully it stays also, it doesn't go away. I was very upset and I just felt, Swami, you know what? You are targeting me, Swami. You don't like me. Okay? don't worry Swami, I'm doing my master's second year now. That's it. Few more months, I'll graduate and Sairam, chalo, I'll go Swami, don't worry. Because Swami, 7 years I have tried to get close to you, I have tried to come close to you, speak to you, hopefully you'll give me some vibhuti, a copper ring at least. Nothing you have given me, Swami. Nothing you have given me. It's okay. It's okay, Swami, fine. Simply I'll just go and continue with my life. This is what I thought. A few weeks later, it was the time for the annual sports and cultural meet. Every year it used to be held, and we do different things as a display for Swami, and Swami will be watching it from stage. And the sports meet time, the senior most students in the hostel get the first dips on whichever item they want to do, because it's their final year and they get to choose what they can. So everybody anyway will come to the final year and they can choose. So I had chosen an event, zip lining. They used to call it carabining. It's not an actual term. It's zip lining. Basically, a rope will be tied to a top position and it's tied down also, and you come hanging on the rope. And as you're coming down, you'll come down at around 40-45 kilometers an hour. As you're coming down, you keep doing some stunts and everything. So this event I had enrolled for, and they had selected 30 boys and I was in the selected 30. And finally the decision was taken that 15 will do the zip lining, 15 will be the support staff to ensure that everything goes on well. So we'll select who will be the 15 who will do the thing and who will be the support staff. And I felt this is it. Purely on my own effort and hard work, I have made it to the top 30 in the crest jewel event of the sports meet, the crest jewel event of the Prashant Nilayam campus. So I was very proud of that. And then we had one teacher in charge from the hostel for the event, not for the event, for that particular item, because there will be many items. And there is one coach. This coach had come from Singapore. Now this Singaporean coach was a very strict guy, and he somehow equated talking too much with indiscipline. Okay, so I was considered as a very indisciplined guy because he keeps talking every time. So when the evaluation was carried out to select the 15 who will be actually doing it on the final day, out of those 30 guys, I was ranked 28th because 2 people didn't come for the evaluation. Okay, so I was so devastated. That means I am now part of the support staff. I got very angry. Not on the coach, on Swami. I said, Swami, you are doing this. You are sitting and selecting the worst possible outcomes for me because you want to mess around with me, Swami. Because I don't know why. I don't know why you want to do it, but this is what you are doing, Swami. Okay, and I felt so demotivated. I thought, it's okay, I'll be in the support staff. How does it matter? It doesn't matter to Swami, so how should it matter to anybody else? But even in this kind of a negative mindset, one truth that was firmly built within me is, see, if it doesn't matter to Swami, it doesn't matter at all. That is true. That is true whether in a depressed manner you're thinking or in a happy manner. All that matters in life is what matters for Swami. Everything else is zero, is useless. So I was feeling, what, I'll be in the support staff, it's no big deal. So my teacher in charge called me and said, Arvind, you are in the senior most category. I don't know why you didn't get selected. I felt you are part of top 5, and I felt, see. In my mind I said, see, okay. Yeah, I'm part of top 5. Incidentally, that teacher's name was Sainath. And in my mind I was thinking, this Sainath is able to recognize, this Sainath you are not able to recognize me, What it is, Swami, what it is. He felt I'm in the top 5 and he said, okay, I don't know, for some reason you're in the support staff. So do one thing, you leave this item. You go and join some of them, join the commentary team. Because commentary team will be on stage right next to Swami nearby. Something, at least it's your final year, sign off on a high. And in my mind I thought, if I join the commentary team, Swami will do something else and mess up that also. I'll feel even more sad. So I said, no sir, I don't think I'll join the commentary team, I'll be part of this only. He said, why? Now how to tell him this whole thing that's going on for months now, that Swami seems to be messing around with me, Swami doesn't care for me. Instead of all that, I just said, So why should I discriminate between performers and staff, sir? Everybody, we are part of the team, sir. We are the team that is doing carabining. So it's okay, I'll be in the support staff. I'll be the senior in the support staff. He said, okay, if that's your decision, fine. I said, yes, sir, that's my decision. So I told him the decision, but my reasons were totally different. That evening, after the practice session gets over, my teacher in charge calls me, calls everybody and says, hey, just come around before we disperse, here's something I want to tell you. I want to present before you the ideal person. Arvind, please come front. He called me front. He said, I want all of you to be like him. You know what happened? And he made an example out of me. He said, this is the guy. I told him leave, but he said no. See, this kind of commitment, this kind of large-heartedness, this kind of mental, this is what we look for. This is an ideal size student. I was like, Swami, see Swami, whole world will recognize me, Swami. You don't, no need. But see, this is what is it. And I am being put forth, and that Singapore coach was also there. So as an indirect shot to him, this teacher in charge said that, and so Arvind, though you are not in the performing 15 for the final day, whenever Swami comes to see the practice session, you will be the one doing that. For practice session anyway, anybody can do, so you do, so that you get your chance to perform in front of Swami. Okay, and I have decided this, nobody can change the decision. So I felt that was his way of telling the Singapore coach that you can't mess around here. And I felt, see Swami, even if you do anything, no, I'm still, when you come to see practice session, you will see me. You're going to see me, Swami. Now I don't know, just to avoid seeing me, if you don't come for practice session, then that's your will. You want to disappoint all the students over here just so that you can cause hurt to me, then it's fine. This is what I'm thinking again. And again, this is supreme ego. Aesop tells one story of a fly that goes and sits on the horn of a buffalo. And after a while, the fly tells the buffalo that, hey, listen, if you feel I'm too heavy, just let me know, okay? I'll just take off. And the buffalo is like, I didn't know when you came also. I won't know when you go also. Do whatever you want, man. It doesn't matter. Like, how does a fly matter to the buffalo? So every day, though I was support staff, I would do this practice ziplining once or twice, because I have to be ready in case Swami comes to ground to watch practice, right? So this went on for a few days, January first week, and when it came towards closer to the sports meet, one day I was suffering from a lot of diarrhea, severe diarrhea. So I went to my teacher in charge and said, sir, I am not feeling very well today. So he said, then take off, don't come for practice today, and go to mandir, have darshan, enjoy darshan. I became very happy, because during the sports meet time, everybody will be in the grounds practicing. Only those who are sick, who are weak, who are all, not able to have broken their leg, or they are the ones who will go to mandir for darshan. Now among them, I am also going to be there, so it's nice. So there will be very few students. So greater opportunity, greater chance of getting physical interaction with Swami. When Swami comes walking from the back, you can go and sit in the front there. And when Swami completes the round and comes in the front, you can get up and come in the front, have a second close darshan also. All these opportunities, all these chances you can get. So I was very happy. So that day I am going to the mandir, and as I reached somewhere near the bus stand, a few meters away from entering the ashram, I see a lot of commotion on the road. What? Swami is coming. Huh? Swami's car is on the road. Where is Swami going? Can you believe it? He's going to the ground to see the practice session. So easy, so nice for all of you to laugh. I was feeling so miserable there. I was feeling so terrible there. So as Swami's car crossed me, I also began to run behind Swami's car, and he turned into the stadium, went to the ground, and he was seated there, and he comes out of the car and he says that he wants to watch the carabining event. And it takes at least 15 minutes to, first of all, I am dressed in my white shirt and white pant. I have to change into t-shirt, track pant, wear the gear, all that I have to do. I don't think I even have time to go to the hostel, change and come as support staff also, because by then it will be over and Swami may leave. Don't know. When he comes, sometimes he stays for half an hour, sometimes he stays just for 10 minutes. So I told my teacher in charge that, sir, you had told I will do when, well, now how will you do? I don't know, sir. You don't worry, next time when Swami comes, because Swami usually comes multiple times. So next time he comes, you do that. I said, okay, sir. I won't be able to come and support. He said, yeah, no problem, you don't worry, you carry on. So I decided I'll go and stand near Swami at least, I'll have a close darshan. So I went near the car and I stood, and as the carabining Swami was seeing, Swami became very happy. Swami said, this is so nice. And then he turns and tells the elders there that this is approved, this item is approved. You need not show it to me again. Directly. I mean, he gave a positive spin to it, I felt, He said, this is approved and very nice, very good. Like, you can directly. I understood that, oh my God, this means I will effectively not. And I felt so sad. I said, Swami, this also you took away from me. This opportunity also you are snatching away. And tears started coming down my eyes. I thought, it's okay, Swami, I'll stand here. As you pass by in your car, now look at my crying face. If not anything, you have a conscience, right? Let it prick you. Let it prick you that you have hurt your child. These are the thoughts. And I'm standing there, and after that, Swami is leaving. And as Swami's car comes, when he is near me, I get Bala Sai Darshan. Means Sai ka Bal Darshan. Like, he turns around and I look at only his hair. Because he is looking not from the window where I am standing, he is looking out of the driver's window at some boy who was standing there, and that boy was so thrilled, and I was thinking, hey, you are not special. It's because of me that he is looking at you. Again, see the ego. I am thinking that because of me somebody is getting blessing. But I was devastated. I thought at least he'll look at me. He didn't even look at me. And he went. And that was it. I broke down. I could fight no more. I said, Swami, I can't, Swami. I can't challenge you and fight with you, Swami, because your capacity to hurt is so much, Swami. You are so heartless, so cruel. I am not going to come to Mandir. I don't want to see you, Swami. So I walked off to the hostel. I went to my room and Swami's photo was there, and I feel very bad about it, but I scolded Swami so much. I just shouting at him, telling Swami, what, Swami? All my life I am trying to come close to you, but you don't give me anything. You have not given me anything in life, Swami. Everybody tells that it's great to get God in your life. But let me tell you, God, it's great for you to get a devotee like this in your life, but you don't appreciate the value. You have lost, Swami. You have lost your devotee. Fine, don't worry, Swami. Few more months, 2 more months, my college will be done. You can get rid of me. You won't have the pain of having me in your life. And it's fine, Swami. I'll go on. I mean, whatever came in my mouth, I just shouted. I was screaming. Nobody was there, right? So I shouted and cried and shouted and cried and shouted and cried. And at the end, yeah, I felt like relieved. Okay, I've got it off my chest. It's done. Let's be. And fine. So I went ahead with the sports meet, and yeah, on January 11th, interestingly, what happened was ours was in the evening slot, the program, this carabining event. So there was one part where there's a boy who comes gliding down on the rope, and on a car we have set up a wall of carton boxes, and he crashes into it. It's very simple, nothing, light carton boxes, but the visual is spectacular. Everything crashes like. So I was a support staff, right? So I was to get the whole cardboard wall set up on the car, and I'll drive the car and park it. It was all marked. There's positions there. You just go and mark and stay, and the guy comes and crashes. So we quickly thought that before Swami comes in the evening for the second half, let us just have one practice round. So I got into the car, and I didn't keep the actual carton things because that's just to get an idea, right? So I went and drove the car, kept it in the place, and that guy was going to come down. Now these ropes had been tied over. So for every time what we would do is we would tie the rope near the Zoroaster statue on top of the hill, and the lower rope would be tied to a tractor, and the tractor will go and stop in a position so that the rope is taut. Now for sports meet day, so every day we would do it and do the practice and remove the rope. Now this sports meet day, in order to be prepared, we had already tied the rope, the tractor was parked, everything was ready. So this guy just had to go and come down. What we didn't realize is because it had been tied for 3-4 hours, the rope had become sagging, it had got expanded. So I went, parked my car, and that guy started coming down for the practice, and midway through his descent, now I'm telling it to you in ultra slow motion because it within 15-20 seconds the whole thing is done. So 7 seconds in already, I suddenly realized that this guy is going to come and crash into the windshield. into the car because he's going to sag. Okay. So, and maybe I have 3 seconds to do something. 3 seconds, that's all. So what I thought is, now I don't have enough time to start the car, turn, go. I don't know, he may crash by that time. So I just thought, let me just start and just let me go ahead. I'll just go ahead because it is sagging like this, right? The more ahead I go, he's greater height and he'll have clearance. So I did that. I quickly started the car and started going ahead, but it was not enough. Luckily, he didn't come crashing into the bonnet of or the windshield of the car, but he came and there was a carriage on top of the car. He hit that carriage. His bottom hit the carriage and the carriage got ripped up, and he held his back and I thought he fainted. He came down immediately. They removed him. He was lying on the floor, and I also got out of the car, ran to him. What amazed me was, even in that situation, when he came to, and the first thing that he tells is, hey sir, please don't cancel, I'll do it after 2 hours. Like, he was thinking they may replace him with somebody else to do it, and he was so keen that no, I'll do it. I was like, wow man, what kind of commitment. Like, 2 hours later he's still telling I'll do it. Okay, and that's what happened. 2 hours later when Swami came to the ground, our event was very, very appreciated, and this guy did it. Prakash Verma, he came crashing and crashed into it. I was in the car. This time we had got it all correctly measured, so now it was fine. So yeah, this was a thing that happened. Again, something I felt that one small thing that I had to do, that also, again I blamed it on Swami only. Swami, nicely you messed it up. What, Swami? Okay, you just want to ensure that wherever I put my hand, anyway it's done, right? So it was finished. Sports meet got over. January 14th is prize distribution day, and that is the day Shankranti, when Swami gives prizes to everybody, and he also gives a validity discourse. That day, the previous night, the 13th of January 2005, I think it was a Saturday, I was summoned by the warden, and the warden said, Arvind, will you speak tomorrow? Speak tomorrow? Where, sir? In Kulwant Hall. In Kulwant? Like, did Swami ask for me? No, not that Swami asked, but we are thinking that we'll pray to Swami that before the divine discourse, can 2 students speak? And if Swami permits, we want to propose some student names. One of is yours. So I was thinking, Swami, you have I was thinking to the warden that the warden has no idea as to what's all going on between. And rather than explain the whole story to him, I just said, okay sir, I'll prepare my speech. I'll be ready. He said, okay, be ready with your speech. And that night, there was a movie show in the hostel. Every 2 weeks they show some good movie. Yeah. So it was a good action-packed movie, and I decided, let me watch the movie instead of preparing a talk, because I'm sure that I'll not have to deliver the talk. No way Swami is going to choose me to deliver the talk. So I watched the movie. I didn't prepare. Next day morning, I got up late means 6:30, nearly 7 o'clock. I didn't even take a bath. Why should I take a bath? I didn't even shave. Why should I shave? Swami not interested in seeing my face. I was like kind of very, very sad and dejected and not looking forward to. But some of my friends were receiving prizes from Swami. So they requested me to take their photographs, and for their sake, I said, Swami, I am a good friend. I'll take photographs. So fine, for that sake, I'll come to the mandir. In fact, my full arm shirt didn't have buttons, and I didn't even put cufflinks. I said, why to put cufflinks? I just folded it up like some rowdy, like till here. I folded up my shirt, and I went like that to the mandir. And as I entered the mandir, the principal came and asked me, can you give me your biodata? I said, my biodata, why sir? No, not just you, Jagdish and Raju, also you give me 3 of your biodata. So these are the 3 names I'm going to present to Swami to select one speaker. And the other 2 names that were there in contention, amazing speakers there, superbly they speak, and Swami is in very good terms with them in my mind. So definitely they will be the ones whom Swami will pick. So I didn't even waste time making my biodata. I took the file, I said yes, I will make it. I made the other 2 biodatas, and I didn't make mine. I gave back the file to him because I said no way where he'll select me. So I gave it, then went and sat. When I sat there, another teacher came and said, hey, you have not shaved. I said, sir, I am not getting any prize. No, but you can't sit like this without shaving. Go shave and come. Who will shave? So I went to Chitravati Road there and went to a barber shop and told quickly just remove this whatever stubble is there. It was not a beard, it was just some stubble. So he removed the stubble. Then I came back. I said, okay, why you need all this? And then Swami came. Before Swami came, this Raju and Jagdish came in, and they were dressed like some groom, full sparkling whites, big moon, Chandra Bindu like that, Vibhuti dot, some big rose in their pocket, and full they came. And I thought they are confirmed. I said, you're confirmed? No. Warden told us to be ready. Oh, he told me also to be ready, but see how I am like. Anyway, I thought surely they'll be speaking. So Swami came on stage and he sat, and the proceedings began. They announced what will be the proceeding. The proceeding would be, first there would be a talk by the principal. Then there would be a talk by the vice chancellor, after which they requested Swami to deliver the divine discourse. So I said, good man, good, I went and watched the movie yesterday. See, there is nothing. There is only the principal, vice chancellor and Swami. Simply if I had prepared my speech, I would have wasted the opportunity to watch the movie also. So the principal spoke, then the vice chancellor, Shri S.V. Giri sir, he was speaking. And when he was speaking, midway in his speech, this video is there online. You can go and see this video, 14-minute, this clip, all that happened. Swami calls the vice chancellor and something he speaks to him in middle of his speech. And vice chancellor discusses, okay, all that's done. And he picks up a folder from the principal and he goes to the mic again and he says, no longer continuing his speech, he just says, Bhagwan has blessed two students to speak to us. I thought, Raju and Jagdish. The first is Miss Tina Thomas. So it was a student from the Anantapur campus. Oh, I thought, oh, there's a girl who is going to speak. Okay. And he introduced her. She has done this and that, and he introduced her. And the second, he says, is Arvind Balasubramanya. And I was like, I'm just not able to believe. Me. I have to speak. I don't have a speech. Forget speech, I don't have a biodata there. I don't know what he's going to tell. And he turns the folder and there's no biodata. And he says, this is the introduction he gave. He said, the next is Arvind Balasubramanya and he has done carabining. Why? Because once when he had visited the grounds to see the practice session, the vice chancellor, we were doing this practice and my teacher in charge made me an example in front of him also. Said, sir, I must tell you, this Arvind Balasubramanian, amazing, he had praised. So that is the only thing that is there in his mind about me. So he said, he did carabining. And the fact is, I had not done carabining. I had driven a car, that's all. With that introduction, now I was very tense. Now I need, so he got some introduction. I need to get a speech. How to now, first of all, I thought I'm not presentable at all. So I quickly opened then I looked at Raju and I told him, give me your cufflinks. He said, for what? I said, I am to give a speech, let me wear. So he removed his cufflinks and I put them to myself. Then I looked at him and said, now that rose in your pocket, give it to me. I want to offer it to Swami, I don't have a rose. So he gave me, he was hoping, I think, that you don't have my shirt and pant next. Okay. So I sat there. So my looks are now taken care of. I said, now Raju, you prepared your speech, right? Said, yeah. There will be some story in your speech, no? Tell that to me. So that I can go and tell that story. I don't have a speech. So you don't tell me the message that you are giving because I won't be able to remember. But the story I can remember. Story is easy to remember. So you tell me the story. And very interestingly, the story he whispered, like Swami is sitting, that girl is giving her talk. In the middle we are discussing this, sitting in the third line. He told me the story of Raja Parikshit, which I narrated some time back. Okay, he told this. He said this. I thought, okay, this is something I'll narrate. Okay, I said, now Raju, exchange your place with Jagdish. He said, for what? Because I want to ask him for his story. I need content, right? I want to tell his story as well. So now Raju moves a little front and he tells Jagdish, come this side. He's like, why? All this is happening in front of Swami. So he's asking why. He said, no, you come, Arvind wants, please. Okay, so this way Raju is trying to go front and go here and Jagdish is trying to come back and come. So they can exchange, so then I can ask him for the story. Now as they are doing this exchange, Jai Sai Ram, she concludes her speech there. So I don't have time now to discuss with Jagdish. I have to get up and go now. So I got up, took the rose in my hand, went to Swami, and I took namaskar, and for the first time in my life I said, Swami, please speak through me, Swami. Swami said, yeah. I said, no, Swami, really. This time I really mean it, Swami, speak through me. Like, I don't know what I'll speak. And Swami took the rose, he put it in my pocket and he said, yeah, go speak. So I went to the podium, I stood there, and it was fiasco, it was disaster. You can see it in the video. The first sentence I make, the annual sports and cultural meet is an annual affair. This is the kind of statement that I made, and there was a groan, audible groan, like, oh, what is this, The sports meet used to often be considered like a competition between the girls and the boys. Like, the boys will do bike stunts, then the girls also will do bike stunts to show that we are no less. The girls will dance, then the boys will also come and dance to show we are no less. That kind of. So though it was not there, at a subconscious level, it used to be like who is better kind of. So here was an Anantapur girl who had delivered a fiery speech. Okay, she was an MA in literature. She quoted Shelley, Keats, Shakespeare, everything, and she had whacked a speech over there. And here was the boys champion who was floundering and making a stupid start. So I didn't know what to do. So now what do I speak? I just have one story with me to tell of Raja Parikshit. So I thought, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll describe one item done by each of the campuses, primary school, Anantapur, Brindavan, Prashant Nilayam. So that gives me some time to buy. So primary school, okay, the kids, the tiny kids. I remembered one incident where they were all standing on the ground in the hot sun, and I went and told the headmistress that, amazing madam, how is it that you are able to train so many young kids? And she said, no, it's nothing about us. It's all the beauty of the children. They are like gold. They are already gold, so there's nothing that we need to do. I thought this is a nice thing to tell. But while starting to tell that, I said, I saw these little kids, tiny tots, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. Actually, they are 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds because they are in grade 1. They are not 3-year-olds. So the moment I said 3-year-old, 4-year-old, no, everybody is laughing there. And I realized, oh God, I did a boo-boo. I made a error there. It's gone. They're already laughing, and so this is gone. Move on, move ahead, go to next. Anantapur. And I somehow felt I have to get the respect of the Anantapur, because I am the champion, boys champion pitted against them, right? So you can't laugh at something that you yourself did. So I thought I'll speak about the bike stunts that Anantapur students had done. So when you're speaking extempore, whatever is on top of your mind is what comes. So what I remembered was, there was one girl who was sitting on a bike preparing to do a ramp jump over 18 girls who were lying down there. So I was standing, and there was a teacher next to me, and he said, how much of prayer must be going on in the girl now as she's getting ready to do the jump, right? Like that. This is what he had told. When he said this, what came in my mind was, forget the girl who is sitting on the bike. Think of that 18th one over there. Okay. Now, this is what I wanted to tell, but it came out very badly. So I said, and I was there thinking, that girl who is sleeping 18th over there, I wonder what she's thinking about. It sounded very bad on a public stage like that, me talking, and again there was a groan like, oh, what this guy is speaking, man, like. And I was like, at that point I said, Swami, you said you will speak through me. When you will speak through me, Swami, I'm becoming a laughing stock here. If karma comes back, you were thinking that you are a great speaker, you can speak, you don't need anybody, all others are jokers, they don't prepare. Come on, see here, I was being shown what I am, and I was like, okay, Swami, when you will start speaking? And even as I was thinking like this, that event came in my mind of that boy who came and crashed, right? So I just narrated that. I said he came and we were practicing before he crashed. It was sickening, it was horrible, but this boy gets up and tells, sir, I will do it again. And I wondered what it is that makes them do this, and I realized that the sports meet is an event whose sole goal is to see a smile on Bhagwan's face. Okay, this was that dialogue has today become a cliche, to see a smile on Bhagwan's face, but that was the first time ever that dialogue was used, and the whole hall burst into applause. And I felt, finally, something good, okay. And immediately after that, I put in the Parikshit story, what I had got. That again got applause. And after that, then Swami, how beautifully he was looking at me holding one rosebud, okay, and he was doing something with that rosebud. And it just strikes in my head, that is again Swami's grace. I said, look at the Swami's hand, look at Bhagwan's hand, he is holding a rose. It was a bud that was offered by the Vice Chancellor. But Swami has just throughout kept touching it and fondling it, and it's a fully blossomed rose. Each of our lives is like that rose bud offered at his lotus feet by our elders, and with his touch he makes us blossom. And again there was applause, and Swami was like blushing, because he was holding the rose. I felt so good. After that another something, after that there was one after another, 4 or 5 applauses. And it ended on a good high, and I felt very relieved. I said, okay Swami, thank you. Done. You finally at least, once you forgot your anger and vengeance and everything, and you helped me. So because of that, I also forgot my vengeance and my anger, and I said, okay. So I also went to Swami and I said, Swami, thank you. Swami said, okay. What class you are in? I said, Swami, I am in MSc. Good. And at that time I was about to get up and leave. And Swami tells, hey, come here. And he says, तुमको स्वामी पहले कुछ नहीं दिया ना? He says, Swami didn't give you anything in life, right? And I just broke down in front of him. What I had shouted at him, right, in my private room there, back at him, he's just telling, Swami didn't give you anything, right? And I felt so, I don't know what all went within me. I just broke down and I said, no Swami, no. Whatever I have in life, you have only given, Swami. Nothing else I have in life other than what you have given. Swami said, don't forget that. And he waved his hand and created a beautiful gold chain. I said, come here. And he almost embraced me, put the gold chain around my neck, and he patted me on my cheek and said, you have got so much love. Just have that love. Keep that love in your heart. And I just felt that all that anger that I was seeing in him is actually my own bottled up anger, my own bottled up frustration that I am projecting onto him. He has always been so loving, so kind, waiting, and he is preparing me for such a grand thing, The whole hall was now applauding like crazy. I felt, Swami, I have done so much, you have never applauded for me. Swami was rewarding me with a gold, and I felt this was like my spiritual marriage with Swami. And that was how one of the most memorable episodes in my life concluded, with Swami giving a gold chain. And then I realized that I am thinking I am doing this for Swami, that for Swami. No, whatever I am thinking I am doing for Swami, I am actually doing to myself, doing for myself. And when the Lord comes to make us realize who we are. And Swami is the divine sculptor. He takes the rock and chips away all that is not us, so that we stand revealed. That's what Swami would say a sculptor does. He doesn't, when we see a beautiful Krishna statue that is over here, it's not that a sculptor sculpted the Krishna statue. He just knocked away all that is not Krishna, so that Krishna stands revealed. So also Swami says that you are already divine. I'll just chip away all that which is not divine, which you think you are, and then you will stand revealed in your own glory. That process might be painful, but Swami doesn't hesitate to take it, because that is the sole goal. That is the only way we will get permanent peace, permanent bliss and permanent joy. And when we know this, we should be grateful to him. And therefore, whenever those chips happen, whenever there are those pinches, whenever there are those hurts, let us remember it's only the body and mind that is hurting. I am growing, because if it is something that is not good for me, my Swami will never do it. Because how much ever I may profess to love Swami, how much ever I may claim that I love Swami, I can never match the love that he has for me. How much ever I pine for him, it is not more than how much he pines for me. How much ever I yearn for him, it's not more than what he yearns for me. So it would be wonderful that we remember all of this, and we follow what Swami tells us, whether it is for doing bhajans, whether it's about doing seva, and let us realize that we are doing it not for him. He has got nothing to lose or gain. He has told it, he has prescribed it. Whatever he tells us to do is so that we grow, because that is the only thing that is there for him as important, that my beloved grows and achieves ultimate peace, joy and happiness in life. I'm grateful to Swami for having come into our lives. I'm so grateful to him for having taken charge of our lives. And I have only this prayer that Swami, sometimes in our pain, in our suffering of the body-mind complex, we ask you why you're doing what you're doing and we ask you to stop. Please don't stop, Swami. Just like a mother, despite the pleas of the baby, continues to give the vaccination shot, you also give it to us, Swami, because that is what is good for us. May we always remember that what you do is good for us and good for us. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.